The two-barrel equipped 1969 Camaro, and Richard Mace. The Conquer helmets, wheel-standing Corvette. They're in and ready. A 350 over there in that multicolored car. It's like trying to breathe through a straw. And Richard Mace trying to catch him with the Corvette. Richard Mace not going to catch him with the Corvette. Actually, I guess if you want to get technical, he did catch him, but he caught him by way too much. Mace is under by a tenth of a second. Ellison, 1181 for the win. Well, Chris Howes was supposed to be in the right lane to race Adam Strang. Those of you with a really sharp eye, if you, like me, have had LASIK, you're looking there going, I don't see Chris. Yep, me too. Chris unable to answer round one, so that's going to give Adam a freebie. Listen to this. First gear, second gear, third gear, and high gear. $10.51, 126 for the W. Now it's Jake Rutledge, and he was supposed to race Jim Castles. But Jim apparently wounded the Nova, which is like tearful in its own right. Well, I don't want to ever see anybody wound a 69 SS396 Nova. But Rutledge will stage up and take a solo. $11.94, 110 miles an hour for Rutledge, and he will advance to tomorrow. Not uncommon to have a few singles because these cars qualify and lock down a spot on the ladder, and well, if somebody can't make it, you don't just throw out the ladder or redo everything. Normally we'll have a couple of solos, like Dempsey Pendarvis in the Challenger. Was supposed to be in the left lane, facing off against Q Meeks. $870, 158 for Meeks. We apparently had a lot of carnage the last couple of days. No Harry Morgan and the front driver escort to race Gary Richard. See, this would have been fun. This would have been like a 7 Mississippi head start. But Gary Richard, who is the Grand Poobah at P.C. Richard et al., takes a freebie in his Camaro. Ouch. Looks like there may be some work to do for that car to come back and be ready to go tomorrow. Well, Gary's able to drive that thing off the top end of the racetrack, but it sure looked weird going down the racetrack, didn't it? And that's going to get the top end gang to come out and take a look. Well, we're taking a look down there, and we've just got one car left here in Stock Eliminator. Super Comp is at the ready line. Well, it looks like this is going to take a few minutes. I don't mean like long time, but it's definitely going to take a few minutes. So great opportunity to grab a snack or something cold to drink if you want to do that. One stalker left, and then we'll be ready to go with Super Comp. Reggie Winkles. His scheduled opponent was Jim Kelly, but Jim couldn't make it. So Reggie will take his trip down the boulevard, and that will officially lock stock around 1 into the books. Winners get to come back tomorrow. Those who weren't fortunate enough to advance get to come back another time, but not tomorrow. And there you have it, 11:59 at 113 miles per hour. First pair of Super Comp cars in the water box, and Warren Evans stepping back up to the microphone.
Thank you, Alan. 890 cars coming up. Their first opportunity. First round of eliminations here for them. Duke Bodner, Kendall Park, New Jersey. He'll square up here on the left side alongside Jim Morrison. 2 go down, 1 come back. As we are in eliminations the rest of the weekend through. Except for juniors. We'll see them a little bit later through the weekend here. The elimination round 1 coming up for the 890 cars. Bodner out of New Jersey. Morrison from Florida. Which one gets to hang around tomorrow, and the other one the opportunity to head out? I think I know. Right off the bat, if you were watching, I bet you can tell too. At the finish line, yep, that's how I thought it was going to work out. Jim Morrison much better at the starting line, 9:03 at 1:48. How much better? Duke Bodner, 2 over 8:92, nowhere close at the finish line. So Bodner's weekend here at the Baby Gators is done. Jim Morrison goes on to round number 2. Troy Williams. Jim Blinkern coming up next. Williams for FTI Performance from Daytona Beach. Jim Blinkern, Murfreesboro, Tennessee, home for him. Again, 890s, left and right. Big block Chevy powered rear engine dragsters. Pretty much assume that unless we let you know otherwise. That is the case here. So, if you thought the first pair was bad, how about this? Troy Williams, 9:24 at 1:34. Jim Blinkern must have had his thumb stuck in the button. That's all I can figure. 9:14 at 1:29, nowhere close. If you're a half a tenth behind, excuse me, if you're half a second behind at the starting line, not going to work out very good for you down at the finish. Kevin Brannon, Holden Larice coming up next. Now, I'll really be surprised if these reaction times don't have a 0 at the start. Brannon, Boiling Springs, South Carolina. Builds race motors over on the left. Right side, Holden Larice in the insurance game. Holden turns it red by 002. Brannon gets the automatic win. He'll run it out to an 891 at 176. Brannon good to go for round number 2. For Larice, 2,000 too quick, 892 at the stripe, 185 for the speed. Trinae Crisoni pulls up behind Holden for Larice Motorsports Insurance. Let's see if he can do a little bit better than the young man. Jason Kinney alongside, cuts down PA. That's a tough draw in round number 1. Kinney for Jegs.com and Hoosier Tires. Stennett Power behind the driver. That's more like it. Too good. Green light starts, left and right. Trernay a little bit behind on the starting line, but makes it up at the finish. Trernay dead on 7 for the win, 175 for the speed. 2th thou at the stripe, margin of victory for Trernay. Jason Kenny, 009 on the tree, 891.6, and out of here, 166. TJ Coleman and Chuck Trotter getting set to head down track now. Coleman left side, the dragster. Trotter right side, the Ford Thunderbird. 557 cubic inches of blue oval power on the right. Handful of door slammers here in the Super Comp category. Trotter trying to advance to round number 2. Staged and ready. Here comes Trotter. Can he get it done? How about a 13 thousandths package for Chuck Trotter? He's 005 on the tree, 890 with an 8 at 168. Coleman was behind at the starting line, broke out trying to catch him, never got there. 889, 1 under, 159. Chuck Kreppela comes up now alongside Jim Jarrett-Harris. Kreppela left side, down from Massachusetts. Jarrett-Harris, right side, down from Batavia, Illinois. Looking race shaping up right here. Both of them come off the stops. And at the finish line, double breakout win goes to Chuck Kreppela. He is 889 at 183. Cross second. Jarrett-Harris took a little more stripe down there, 887, 3 under at 177. Win goes to Chuck Kreppela. Lance Pinto, the Cavalier, left side from Walworth, New York. Another door slammer. One of just a handful. John Sickish alongside. He'll be backing up from the burnout right now. Pinto waits until he sees Sickish backing up. Now Pinto pulls forward. Again, target practice here, 890. But we're doing it for real. Eliminations here in the Super Comp category. The door car staged. The dragster staged. Dragster leads. Too quick. By 5 thou. Lance Pinto. The automatic win. Both door slammers advance. Lance Pinto, 893 at 152. The Cavalier will be back tomorrow for round number 2. John Sickish, 892 and done at 157. Red light gets him. Jean-Pierre Gobet from Quebec City. Little 27 Ford T Roadster. Chevrolet power for the Canadian. David Markle alongside from North Chili, New York for You Need a Tire. David pulls up. Jean-Pierre is staged. David is staged. Jean-Pierre, no throttle stop, breaks out by a 10th. And he was behind by more than a 10th when he left the starting line. Win light for David Markle. 013 at the start, dead on 9 at the finish. 22 thousandths package there for David Markle on the win. Jean-Pierre Gobet, a 10th under, 880 and out. Kenneth Moses, the green machine over here on the left, from Colonia, New Jersey. The Ken Moses Race Transmission American Race Car Chassis entry. He'll line up next to Colby Fuller. Fuller from Savannah, Georgia. Fuller, freshly out of junior dragsters, 20 years old. Okay, he didn't run juniors. All right. Ken Moses. Doesn't care whether he ran juniors or not. All he knows is his light is red, and he's done. Colby Fuller will be back for round 2, 891 at 180. Red light start for Moses, and an 893 to end his day here way too early in round number 1. Michael Handress. He'll back up now. It's like Dwayne Shields out there looking on. The Short Line Express Market Race Tech chassis ride out of Brooklyn, New York. Davey Markle pulls up alongside, right hand side of the track, the Budweiser lane for JRO Design. Again, 890 the number. Pro Tree start. As Homer would say, I love a good race. I do love a good race. How about this on the double breakout? Davey Markle, 009 on the tree, 889.9 wins on the double breakout. Michael Handress, 004 on the tree, 889.4 breaks out by more. Wow. Pretty good old drag race. Davey Markle wins on the double breakout. David Nickel, Ross Larice coming up next. Nickel from Chandler, North Carolina. Larice from Raceland, Louisiana. That's your pairing left and right. Larice, the Larice Motorsports Insurance entry. Proud sponsor of Drag Racer TV. Happy to have them on board. Larice Motorsports Insurance. If you're looking for insurance for your entire racing operation, race cars, toter homes, trailers, anything and everything related to your race operation, both on and off track. Stop by and see Holden or Ross. They'll get you fixed up with a quote right here on site. Provide you with that peace of mind that you're looking for. Larice is staged. Nickel is staged. Nickel way out front. Here comes Larice, the high horsepower Super Comp car at the finish line. Double breakout win this time goes to David Nickel. 886 at 148 breaks out by 4. Larice by 7, 883, 700 at 169. So in Super Comp, the Larices are 0 for 2. They have to do their best in Top Dragster coming up later. Philip Malicello backing up this time around, left side. The Malicello Racing Cressman built dragster. He looks over and sees Otis Henry in the other lane, wanting to race the truck. The UPS driver out of Deerfield Beach, Florida. I look to my right, Super Comp cars as far as the eye can see, as we are right here at the beginning of round number 1 of Super Comp Eliminator. Henry behind him start, gathers him up, and at the finish line he breaks out, gets there first by a 1/10.5, a train length down there, breaks out by all of it. 9 flat at 185 for your winner, Philip Malicello. Henry got down there, took the stripe by about 3 car lengths, breaks out by 1300s, 886, 178 for the speed. McKenna Brown for Jags.com, left side, taking on the champ, Ray Miller III. Ray out of Spring City, Tennessee, carrying that big number 1 right side of the track for Miller Race Cars. They build them, they sell them, and they race them. I believe it's Ray's first race of the year. He's just looking for a round win to go on to round number 2. Just like that, 896 at 171 for Ray Miller III. He'll be your winner. 171 for the speed. McKenna Brown, 896 and done at 179. Crystal Weber starts her back up from her burnout. Left side of the track from Palm City, Florida. Part of that Wildfire Racing team. Rusty Cook over here on the right. Super Comp car with all that big speed for Ohio Crankshaft. Out of Cynthiana, Kentucky. Cynthiana, the home base for some very quick, very fast race cars. Lester Johnson over there in the pit area. You'll see him in Top Sportsman a little later. Also from Cynthiana. Cook and Weber. Try to figure it out down there at the finish line, and it's going to be Weber for the win. She was better at the starting line. Closer at the finish line. Cook is done. Weber, the win. 891 at 164. John DeBartolomeo. Over here in the Lucas Oil Lane, left side of the track from Beaver Springs, Pennsylvania. For DRC Race Products, Drag Racing Edge Magazine. Multi-time winner. Hall of Famer back in his home division, alongside Richard Stroud from Douglas, Ontario, Canada. The RJS Engine Services dragster, big block Chevy power behind the driver. Station's ready, here we go. Off the stop early, hard charge for the finish line, win light on the double breakout this time around for Richard Stroud by 4 thousandths of a second. Difference, 886.8, that's better than the 886.4. So Richard Stroud picks up the round win on the double breakout. Frank Altilio coming up next alongside John Labuse. Altilio, left side of the track. Labuse, right side. Altilio for Two Guys Plumbing Supply. Labuse handling the dragster for Anthony Bertazzi. All sorts of great companies getting him to the track, including Digital Delay and FTI and Hoosier Tires and a whole bunch of others. Labuse, former champion in the Super Gas category. Round winner here in round number 1. Red light start for Frank Altilio. Labuse gets the free pass into round number 2. 888 with an 8 at 168. A lot of 8s there. For Altilio. Turns it red by 006 and then goes dead on 1 at the finish. 890 with a 1 at 184. Just put that in the book and might need it next weekend here at the Gator Nationals. Franklin DeBartolomeo will be up next alongside John Whitener. Franklin, just like Dad, for DRC Race Products. John Whitener paused a little bit there before he started his backup from his burnout. Whitener from Winter Garden, Florida. Again, 890 the number. Finish line, another double breakout race. This time it's Franklin DeBartolomeo for the win. 4 under 886 at 170. That's better than the 8 under John Whitener, 882 at 169. Franklin will advance. Attention in the pit area. We need the left side of the ladder for Super Stock Eliminator. Please, left side. That's what I said, left side. Left side. Not both, just one. left side. I think you two need to just stop talking. You're confusing me. Greg Slack, Sherman Adcock Jr. Left side of the ladder, super stock eliminator to the lanes. That'll be all that. 896 at 144 for Greg Slack, getting the win, the lucky win, as Sherman Adcock had him covered on the starting line by more than a tenth of a second and goes down there, takes 2/10 at the stripe, breaks out by 2 hun. 888, 2 hun, 2 quick, 167 for the speed. Greg Slack. Of course, you know with Slack, with that turbo car, he could be coming at any time, but he could not run the number. Adcock was waiting for him to come around, never did, broke out, hanging on. Confusing race, tough one for Adcock, but Greg Slack will play tomorrow. David Long, Joe Balancio coming up now. Once again, left side of the ladder for super stock. We need you to the lanes, please. Left side, super stock to the lanes. David Long. 891 with an 8 for the win. 167 for the speed. Better on the starting line as well for Joe Balancio. His Baby Gators comes to an end. 893 at 170. Dawson Putman, Boiling Springs, South Carolina, the 18-year-old over here on the left side. He gets Kent Hanley. Hanley out of Raleigh, North Carolina. North Carolina, South Carolina, matching up here in Florida. Hanley, not 18 years old. Almost 4 times that, if you do the math. Once again, super stock, left side of the ladder to the lanes. Red light start for Dawson Putman. 014 on the red side. Kent Hanley is James Bond Green. He'll get the win. Hanley, 892 at 167 for your win. Dawson Putman, 891 and out, 184. Billy Walker, Joe Mockel coming up next. Both of them really hustling back from the burnouts right now. Walker left side. Loganville, Georgia, the home base for the from start to finish landing. Joe Mockel, the American race car right side. Again, big block Chevy powers. Woo, Loganville. Woo, Loganville. I got no Ric Flair in me. Woo, Loganville. Mockel beat him to the red light. Mockel eases on down through there. Win light for Billy Walker. 871 at 175. And so Billy Walker will go, whoo, Loganville. I promise I won't ever do that again in public. Derek Denny and Dave Dahlem. Double D and double D, left and right. Derek Denny out of Pleasant View, Tennessee. That's the car in the left-hand lane. Dave Dahlem, Tremont, Illinois. That's the car in the right-hand lane. Dahlem, done here in round 1. 012 red. Derek Denny will drive it out. Take a look at his time slip. He'll see an 891 at 185. Derek Denny, your winner. Dave Dahlem, red light start, 894 at 177. Now here's Greg Camplain. Greg and Judy and crewman Terry Simpson hanging out up here in the tower. My associate producer for Drag Racer TV this weekend. Yeah, when you were watching and the stream went away and you're going, what happened to Drag Racer TV? Terry Simpson, everybody. Greg Camplain, James Summers. That'll be your first or your next pair coming up. Plain 002 green. Dave Summers 009 red. Red lights are bad. Plain, your winner. They both go down there, break it out. 887 at 178. The Plain turned it green, and that turns into a win light. Kyle Forbes and Robert Houston. Famous for all the wrong reasons, Terry? Is that what you... Forbes left side from Nova Scotia. The TV producer. Hey, go talk to Kyle. You can learn a few things. Because obviously I can't teach you nothing. Robert Houston alongside. Transportation dragster. Way down track. Forbes is not going to get there, and Robert Houston breaks out by a mile. I think he forgot to turn something on. 8:17. 8:17. This is not a 790 category. 8:17 at 132. What are you doing down there? He was 008 on the tree, and then took about 400 feet of stripe. Kyle Forbes 888.9. That's also a breakout, but he wins on the double breakout. Of course he does, because he was a second behind at the finish line. Donald Pate, Joey Cambria coming up next. Cambria, Pate, Cambria. Pair of 891s on the scoreboard. Joey Cambria getting it done. How about this for margin of victory? 0.0025. 25 10,000ths at the finish line. Cambria puts together the better package. 891.9 beats an 891.7. Cambria was 053 on the tree. Pate 057. Add it all up. Margin of victory goes to Cambria by 25 10,000ths of a second. Dylan Howe lines up left side, the young man out of Junction City, Oregon. Brian and Mindy and the entire Howe clan over here for Cascade Trailers. Taking on the Double Tank Racing GTO. Full-bodied car for Joe Tankersley. Says double tank, but just like Alan said, should be triple tank because there's 3 of them out here. Tank. Moving on down the track there. Here comes Howe. Howe better shape on the starting line. I mean, he was terrible, but he was a heck of a lot better than Joe Tankersley. 894 at 164 on the win for Howe. Joe Tankersley missed it by a bunch. 892, 156. Howe gets the win by 300ths down at the finish line. Leo Zinda, Alan Ackles coming up next. Zinda left side for the Ring and Pinion Shop. You'll see him in his Cavalier and Super Gas. You see him here in his Super Comp Dragster. Alan Ackles, the AJA Racing entry out of Thanatisasa, Florida. Not sure if that's right, but it sounds right to me. Thanota Sassa. See, I didn't even get it close. It's Thanatisasa. Thanota Sassa. What he said. Well, here's the upside. I don't have to say it anymore because he's out. Leo Zinda gets the win. 008 on the tree. Dead on 5 at the finish line. 13,000s package. Ackles' reaction time was an 014. Do the math. He was already done before he got to the guard beam. Todd Ewing coming up now. Vinemont, Alabama. As Alan reminds us, they call him Bones. Todd Ewing for Huntsville Engine. He gets the Roberts Motorsports entry of William Roberts from Lincolnton, North Carolina. Super stock, left side of the ladder to the lanes. Super stock, left side of the ladder to the lanes. We need to get you paired and ready. 3 thou at the start. Win light at the finish for Todd Ewing. He was 3 thou better, 894 with a 4 at 171. William Roberts, 020 on the tree, 894.9 at 167. So, 3 thou difference at the start, 5 thou difference at the finish. That's an 8,000 margin of victory for Todd Ewing. Jerry McGill and Don Higgins coming up now. Higgins for Crew Chief Pro Software out of Mapleton, Illinois. Pro, proud sponsor of Drag Race TV coverage all over the country. Jerry McGill alongside. McGill, make sure his Crew Chief Pro Software is working for him, but not to be. He breaks out 887 at 161. He's under by 3. Higgins was behind at the starting line. Then he goes 892 at 179, behind at the finish. But guess what? His win light's on. Jerry McGill's is not. Lauren McMaster moves back now. That's the left side. Nicole Stevenson on the right. McMaster. Junior Dragster Mom over here on the left for McMaster Lawn and Pest Control. Nicole Stevenson in the corn dog business. Usually lists her occupation as butcher. She is the corn dog gypsy. Hillsboro, Indiana, the home base, but they spend most of their time in the South. McMaster out front. Here comes Nikki. Can she catch her at the finish line? Double breakout. How about this? Lauren McMaster, 888.5. That's better than the 888.4 for Nicole Stevenson. So by 1/1000th of a second on the double breakout, it's Lauren McMaster for the win. A little bit of cleanup there on the starting line. Hey, Super Stockers, if you're over there along the fence there in the staging lanes, if you are paired, please bring them up. If you're paired and ready, please bring them up to the ready line right now. We need the room in the back to pair up cars. So Super Stock, if you are paired and ready, please bring them up to the ready line now. We need the space back there to complete our pairings. Super Stock, once again, if you're over there in the staging lanes and you are paired, please bring your pair up to the ready line now. We need you to make way for more cars so we can get our pairings done. Left side of the track, it's Daniel Bisbano. Buchanan, New York. Mr. Happy over on the left side. Right side, that's Matt Grayson. And Grayson turns it red. Bisbano takes the win via the red light start. 896 at 171 for Daniel Bisbano. Grayson red light start, 888 at 176. Christina DiBartolomeo comes up now, left side of the track from Beaver Springs, Pennsylvania. The Lucas lane over here on the left. The Budweiser lane on the right, that's Kenneth Myers. Myers from Pfafftown, North Carolina. For Hoosier Tires and for Motorsports. American car right, S&W car left. Another red light start, this time right side for Kenneth Myers. He turns it red. Christina DiBartolomeo. Let's see if I get that right. 894 at 181. Turned to green, takes the win. Myers, red light start, 891 and done. 167. Chris Rowe hustles back now over here on the Lucas Oil side of the track. From Morriston, Florida, Bob Fuller alongside. Fuller, Budweiser side of the track, out of Rogers, Arkansas. The Odyssey Battery Special. Again, super stock. If you are paired, please pull up. If you're on the left side of the ladder and you're not up there, you're late. We got to get you paired up and run you out here in round number 1. What's Homer's favorite saying? I love a good race. I do love a good race. And Chris Rowe in my favorite car, 890 with a 2 at 173 for the win. Bob Fuller, 892 at 179. So it was 007 on the left, 010 on the right. 3,000 separated them at the starting line. Chris Rowe, a 9,000s package, puts it together. Fuller with the 010, and he was already mathematically ineligible, as the kids say. Tony Helms, Jason Bader coming up now. Helms of the 1-pack earlier today. It's not a 1-pack this time. Jason Bader alongside. Bader turns on the win light. 008 on the tree, 891 at the finish line at 167. Helms was behind enough that he tried to catch him, broke out trying to get there. Still crossed second, 889.7 at 172, and done for Tony Helms. Lauren Freer and Scott Mackey. Freer from Mooresville, North Carolina. A Miller car. For Top Dragster, also a Miller car. Scott Mackey, the Babalu Racing. Super Comp Dragster over here out of Fort Myers, Florida. Hey, Super Stock. We know all y'all up to the lanes, both sides of the ladder. Super Stock. We need you to the lanes to get you paired up for round number 1. Left side, right side, all sides. To the lanes. Mackey, red light start. Win light for Lauren Freer, 889 at 183. Wins via the red light start. Scott Mackey turns it red, then goes 82. Top speed of the meet, 534 miles an hour. How's that? Fast. Yep. Yeah. Here's Bailey Mize and Michelle Furr. Mize, 16-year-old student out of Harriman, Tennessee. He's a dragster driver. Gets way down track. Here comes Michelle Furr with that top end charge. Mize breaks out. How about an 860 at 151? That's low ET of the session. Michelle Furr, actually that's not. We had an 817 earlier, didn't we? Michelle Furr, 888 at 164. Furr better at the starting line. Mize, 860, 3/10 under the mark down there at the finish. Marie Ann Muller from Pinellas Park, Florida, and Carla Pontillo from Kenosha, Wisconsin. Side by side. Marie and Carla hustle down track. Who's going to get the round win? It's going to be Marie Ann Muller. Better at the starting line, 004 to 010. 6 thou separated them up there. 891.2 at 175 for Marie Ann Muller. Carla Pontillo finishes her day 892 at 176. Super stock to the lanes, please. Super stock to the lanes for round number 1. So both sides of the ladder, left side, right side. We need you up here to get you matched up for your first round competition. Maverick Palmatier and Chad Taylor. So Maverick, another junior dragster driver in a big car this weekend. Chad Taylor alongside. Maverick out front. Here comes Chad. Maverick took the stripe, took 7 down there, broke out by 4s. He's 4 under 886 at 169. Had the light by about 2 hun. Chad Taylor, your winner, 891 at 171, crossing second. Alan Evans, the multi-hued blue machine over here for high-tech race cars. He's in the Lucas Lane left side. Right side, that's Larry Burnshausen, looking at the Budweiser scoreboard out of Manitou, Illinois. Won this race back in 1997. Picked up plenty of trophies since then and before then. Same thing this weekend. Here's a little wompity womp down there. Who's doing what? How about Burnshausen trying to do it? 889.8 breaks out by 2 thou. 2 thou too quick. Alan Evans drops it on the number 890 with a 9 at 179. Alan Evans with a 22 thousandths package. Larry Burnshausen with a 28 thousandths reaction time. Day was done before he even knew it. Bill Bear comes up next. Left side, the T. Roy's House of Power. Bear built big block Chevy dragster alongside David Morris for Morris Racing and VP Racing Fuels. The runner out of Clover, South Carolina. Former national event winner over here on the right. Red light starts for Bill Bear. David Morris, 009 on the tree. He'll get the round win. How about an 888 at 166? Just a time pass. He'll try to get it tuned up for tomorrow for round number 2. Bill Bear, red light start, 880 at 163. 2 more coming at you now. Backing up right now, that's Buddy Goolsby. Waiting patiently alongside, that's Brandon Miller. Again, super stock to the lanes, please. Goolsby left, Miller right. Florida and Connecticut side by side. Green on the start. Goolsby hangs himself out there in front. Gets the win, 893 at 164. He was behind at the starting line by just a touch, 012 to 007. Miller can't track him down. He's behind at the finish line, 895 at 169. So he's behind it by 2 at the stripe, and Goolsby takes the win. Scott Lamar, left side, out of Hawthorne, Florida. The Canfield Industries dragster, taking on Kathy Weber. Weber from Palm City, Florida. Part of Team Wildfire over there on the right. Saw Crystal earlier. Here is Kathy. Well, that was certainly odd right there, as Kathy rolled forward before the tree was activated. Then Scott rolled forward and rolled it deep, but he got a tree. So we're going to sort that out a little bit. We'll let you know what we figure out. Preliminarily, we think they are both DQ'd, but we're going to confirm that. We'll let you know. So, confusing that was. Jim Weber, Allison Holdaway come up now. Weber, the Wildfire Racing, altered over here. 27T center steer machine. Allison Holdaway alongside. Out of the Miller Race Car Shop over here from Inverness, Florida. Super Stock, if you're not here, you're late. Alan makes a good point. If you're not here, don't bother. Stay home. You didn't want to race anyway. But if you are here and you're paired, would be sure happy to have you pull up so we can fill out these lanes. So Jim Weber turns it red the traditional way. He's just early. Allison Holdaway, the automatic win, 878 at 163. Jim Weber, red light start, and an 80.92 for the little altered. So, one more car left. The bye run to go to round number 2. Guy number 3 in the world last year, Jonathan Anderson, for HJ Wings and Things out of Summer Grove. So Anderson, 10 up front. Heads for the stripe. Time ticket will say 890 with a 5. So he's 010, dead 5 at 178. Good looking pass there for the bye run. He'll be back for round number 2. But now it's time for round number 1 of Super Stock Eliminator. We'll be back to action in just a minute. Just a little bit of touch up on the starting line right now. Then it'll be time for Super Stock round number 1. Hey, don't forget, tomorrow morning, Racers for Christ, non-denominational chapel service will happen up on the 3rd floor here in the tower tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Racers for Christ. The chapel service. Stop by and join in the faith and fellowship and soak in the message from the Racers for Christ chaplain. We'll be happy to see you there tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. for chapel service up on the 3rd floor of the tower for Racers for Christ. And with that, Super Comp is complete. Super Stock is at the Reading line. And to tell you all about it, the voice of the National Hot Rod Association, Mr. Alan Reinhardt.
You keep saying that. Every time I hear that, I think, yeah, one quick glance, and you guys know why I'm not the face of the National Hot Rod Association. In the world's most important news of the day, did you see this?
What's that?
Tim Tebow got cut by the Mets. I mean, have they even started yet? It's like, I know he was a legend when he went to school here, and I think that's awesome.
He likes to play baseball, but he doesn't need to play baseball. You know?
But it's like getting fired during orientation, isn't it? I mean, pitchers and catchers reported, but have they even started playing yet?
No.
Right?
Inter-squad games.
We're doing a touch-up on the starting line, and then we're going to dive right into Superstock. Round number 1. Should be fun. In the grand scheme of stupidest thing you might ever hear today, how about this? A Texas man a Texas man at Walmart took the lid off of an ice cream container, filmed himself licking it, and then put it back on the shelf. He's currently in jail. What an idiot. Hey, I got an idea. We're going to break the law. Who's got a camera? I got an idea. We're going to do something stupid. Somebody quick take a picture. Austin Alvey and Robbie Drawn, they're up right now. How about that A modified Corvette? That thing's pretty cool. Left lane is going to get the head start. That would be Austin Alvey. He will be off and running, and then Robbie Drawn will be chasing. The first Superstocker to go home in competition is about to be named. They both get out of the green light start. Now Austin Alvey's looking over his shoulder as Robbie Drawn is closing the gap. Corvette catching him, not going to catch him, at least not on the old 1320. 936 for the win for Austin. He was better on the tree and 2 above the dial. Robbie Drawn goes 53 on a 49 and never did catch Austin. Robbie got down there and gave up the chase when he realized he wasn't going to get there, but that was a little too little and a little too late. Now it's Gary Richard and his 428 powered new gen Mustang and Jimmy Spell in the GTO. I know what you're thinking, it looks like a Camaro. Well, it's a GTO Camaro. I know what you're thinking. What? It is a Camaro with a small block that runs in GT category O and has a clutch. That make more sense? I'm doing this to try to make Ryan Harem's head hurt because, well, the rest of them hurt, so why not his head? That's not good. Jimmy Spell just rolled through the beams. He rolled in and then kept rolling, and the lights went out, and then the red light came on. And then Gary Richard went, whee! 911, 145 miles an hour for Richard on the free ride down there, and Jimmy's driving down there going, man, I can't believe my car wouldn't sit still. All clear from the top end of the racetrack, and that'll bring up Glenn Mace.